expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, jump away at the storm.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! And good Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Whoo, back for a little bit more entertainment here on the Chip Matthews program here on WYAB. We ran to Canton to see if we could find out something on the Canton court case, and so far we've still found out nothing. We're waiting on Judge Wheels' ruling in the Democrat versus Democrat race, which is really lawyers versus lawyers, to see who's going to get the school board money in case a Democrat wins the election. Now, if the Republican wins the election, what attorneys will we have, or I have, or what we will do? I don't know. But I'm going to tell everybody right now, about 10:07 in the morning, because I'll be filling in on Jameson Haygood's show, I'm going to have Sidney Runnels. Sidney Runnels, he was a longtime mayor of Canton and had been gone, I guess, for, 29 years, 30 years? He was there. He was the last, white mayor. We'll say white, but he was a Democrat. He was a Democrat mayor. We've never had a Republican that I know of, if I were to win. But Sidney Runnels is going to be here on the program. We're going to talk about the original annexation, and we're going to get some ruling, because he knows a lot about a lot of this stuff that went on the election and the rulings that took place. He knows the statute probably on when and who's responsible for why the names didn't get on the poll books and this, that, and the other. We're going to talk about all of that. But old Sidney will be on the radio with us in the 10 o'clock hour. David Bishop is talking about dropping by and talking to me. He's the former supervisor from Madison County who beat Banks by a couple of votes one time. And his name came up in the trial the other day. So I'm trying to get everybody in whose names came up in the trial just to talk about what they did. And of course, I was accused of being a white Republican by the mayor of Canton, completely destroying my campaign. Everybody in Canton now knows I'm white. It's probably going to make it more difficult to path to victory for me. That's insane. What, race has nothing to do with the elections, and everybody's making it part of it. The when you go to vote, it doesn't know what race you are. The ballot doesn't know. You fill it in. Just because you're Democrat doesn't mean that you're black or white. Just because you're Republican, it doesn't mean you're black or white. It just means you're voting. And when you go to vote, drop the color out of it, people. Start voting for the people. I see when Clay talks about the cultural right and how people are tired of this, that, and the other. Good morning, Sherry Goodman. What you don't realize is that the youth movement, the ones that weren't here during segregation, they don't care about race. They don't. When you go riding around now and you go in McDonald's or someplace like that, and you see a group of kids, they're black and white together. That's what you see. Wherever you go, you go out there and you just go, holy cow. They get along a lot better than us. I know a friend of mine who once had a birthday party at her house, and her daughter had brought a bunch of people over to the house for the birthday party, and they had invited some boys and some girls. Okay. And then all of a sudden she looked up and there was a black boy at the wedding, at the party. And she was like, what's that all about? and who invited him and blah, blah, blah. And she was looking at it. And then she had the most shocking thing said to her that she ever heard. Her mama asked her, "Are we racist?" And that was that. That question got asked and answered quick. And no, she wasn't racist. And, that was it. But it's one of those things for those of us that are, I guess, 55 plus, that we grew up in a world where, that didn't happen. We didn't hang out together. Nowadays, everybody has merged. Everybody lives together now. And at a certain age, we still break off into the black and white. But this younger generation, they hang out red, yellow, black, and white. All of them. They all hang out together. And that's a good thing. But the only people separating people are politicians. The politicians make it a black-white issue. And it's not a black-white issue. It's who can do the job. Who can do the job? In Canton, I can do the job. In Canton, we have a problem that we have to make our problem. It's everybody's problem. The shootings, the killings. And even Jackson, the shootings, the killings. You can't just say that's black problem. You've got to address it as a sole body. You don't see Trump running around getting mad. He gets mad because people are dying on both sides of a war, and he wants it to stop. He wants the killing of innocent people over with. People should not kill each other. That's all that Trump's about. And a lot of people hadn't realized that part of him, and it doesn't really get emphasized in the news. He says it all the time. The killing's got to stop. The killing's got to stop. But the truth of the matter is the killing does have to stop. He doesn't care if you're Arabic or you're black or white or Jewish. He wants it all to stop. Palestinian, he wants you to stop. Just stop. Stop killing each other and sit down and work it out. Talk. Figure something out. And that's exactly what we need to do. And so how do you do that locally in Jackson? Well, in Jackson, the bones of our government needs to be fixed. The bones in Jackson City Council, you need to be making sure you can get who you need to get in place so that you can fix Jackson. You can't fix anything with the wrong people. That's just not going to happen. Look at Madison County, where we need to be working on projects that would have 5-laned the road to Canton years ago from Gluckstadt to Canton. Instead, you see those wrecks and you're parked and you're there. And all we're doing is creating more traffic going to Canton to go to the mega site. The mega site where $1 billion is being spent. $1 billion. $1 billion. Some of you can't even count to $1 billion. Some of you can start right now trying to get there, and I'll let you know when you get there. But the reality is $1 billion is a lot more than the $10 or $20 million projects we've had in the past, the $100 million project. This is $1 billion. And money attracts money. So there'll be more people there. It also attracts bad politicians and lawyers. Yes, money. It's the root of all evil, but necessary. And money knows no race. Money knows that whoever he wants, he can have. Money goes, I can buy this politician, I can buy this person and get whatever I want. Or I can do some good in the world. I'm allowed to do both. I'm money. I can do whatever I want and nobody can do anything about it. I am money. So what are you going to do? You're going to find people that can handle your money and do the best for you. And that's what's got to happen in this upcoming election. And that's the reason that I'm running. That's also the reason people run in Jackson and the people that run to try to do things. And then right now, speaking of money, the legislature, they'll call a special session. I haven't seen it come over the wire or anything yet. A news wire like we used to have. News wire. No. We got it, when it'll come out today. Tate said there's a handshake deal for what, a $7 billion budget for Mississippi? Hey, it only counts if you have the money in the bank. And that's what I'm saying. They were sitting there and said we couldn't do the budget because we didn't know how much money we were going to get from Washington. If you look in your wallet and you see how much money you got, that's all the budget can be. It only can be what you have. It can't be something else. It's only what you got in your pocket. If I go into McDonald's with my wallet and I can't afford to get 5 Happy Meals, then I got to look and see, well, I can get one. I can get just a burger and a drink, which is probably all I need. But I mean, that's the reality. You only can spend what you have. Quit spending what you don't have. Quit spending your kids' future. That's what you're doing. You're spending your kids' future when you do that. Money itself is not the root of all evil. The love of money is, though. Yes, Lloyd Travis, you are absolutely right. And the truth of the matter is this. Greed is the biggest problem. And greed is an emotion that you cannot share. And that is something I came up with at a casino in my mind. When you're watching somebody sit there and play blackjack and they get up high and people come up and say, I want to get some money off of them. Oh, I can't give you any money. You never know what I'm going to go back down. Well, it's going to go back down. Money goes up, money goes down. Money moves. Money's everywhere. And it's constantly looking for whoever wants to deceive it. Do you want to be a good guy with money or you want to be a bad guy with money? As long as you're going to touch me and move me, money wants to be with you. Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be back talking more about the culture of life and what goes on in the world right here on the Chip Matthews program here on WYAB. WYAB.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
An American home just doesn't seem complete without that flag hanging from the pole on the porch. And where do you get that flag? In Jackson, it's at a Complete Flag Source, I-55 North. You'll find U.S. and Mississippi flags in all sizes. And yes, that new Mississippi flag is available along with international flags and all state and territorial flags. They can build your flagpole and repair that ragged old flag. It's at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Well, I'm sitting here today with one of my favorite clients, Reggie Brumfield. The first time I believe we worked together was around 25 years ago, wasn't it, Reggie?
I remember that time my wife, Kathy, and I were looking for a home. He sold that house to us, and when we got ready to buy another home, he helped us sell that home and buy another home. So 25 years later, when we decided to purchase another home, your name was the only one in our minds.
601-720-4037, RitaJensen.net.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
There are times in life when we find ourselves in need. We must call upon the help of our closest friends and family. As your local Farm Bureau agent, I would love to be on that list. I live right here in Madison County, and I'm here to help you. For a quick home, auto, or life insurance quote, and to find out how Farm Bureau can save you time and money, call me today, Robbie Gray, 601-879-3699. 601-879-3699.
Attention homeowners and business owners. Complete Exteriors is now Elite Roofing and Gutters. Are your roof and gutters storm ready? The folks at Elite are your local experts in storm protection. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Get up to a possible $250 rebate on a new roofing system for all active military, veterans, and retirees. Online at eliteroofer.com.
Time now for another real estate report. Even with the stock market volatile, interest rates up, land values are holding strong. Even the Great Recession of 2008, land values remain strong, which is historically the case. We caught up again with one of Mississippi's top real estate agents, Shane Saxon, to get his take.
Yeah, real estate's still selling. I've had another record year. Still selling plenty of homes, and land is still the best investment on earth. Call me. Tell them I'm here to help.
Find Shane Saxon on Facebook or call Shane at 601-540-5040. For property, 601-724-1435.
Hey everybody, it's John at Two Gun Tactical. We're having Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So you come in and mention Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half price range fees. Hey, if you're a member, we're going to give you an extra free target just for mentioning Kim Wade show. Come on in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right that if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's twoguntactical.com. That's the number 2, guntactical.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back on a Tuesday morning here on the Chip Matthews program here on WYAB. Let's say a quick good morning to everybody. There's Shelby Nicholson, good morning, and Roderick Cheeks, Jimmy Rogers, Lloyd Travis, Joe Lynn, Tammy, and Sherry Goodman. Good morning to all of y'all and everybody else is tuning in all over the internet and on the web and on we're everywhere. We're on Facebook and YouTube and X and also TikTok. But anyway, it's another day, another $1.73. I'm doing okay. And it's we're talking about money and how money in politics is the root of all evil. Although Lloyd Travis says money isn't evil. Well, money doesn't care if it's evil. Money doesn't care. It doesn't have a conscience. It doesn't care if it's doing evil or doing good. It doesn't care. And so the people that push that money out are the people that have to be in control of it. So, for instance, the legislators getting together and trying to decide what to do with our money. They're spending our money. They're not spending the state's money. They're not spending their money. They're spending our money. They're deciding decisions on everything that we need to do and have in our life. They're spending our money, our tax dollars. We send it to them, and we need to trust them. So next time you go vote, I want you to take your wallet and hand it to the politician that you're voting for. And if you won't hand that wallet to him to manage your money, then you're voting for the wrong person. Correct? Does that make sense? If he cannot take your wallet out of your hand and go do something with it, then you're voting for the wrong person. I mean, money, it wants to go where it's safe, but money will go to evil places. Money is used to buy drugs and money and guns and stuff like that in the wrong neighborhoods. So then we have to spend money to go fight drugs and guns in certain neighborhoods. Money is the grease that makes it all happen. The greed of money. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do about Jackson? What are we going to do about Canton and the killings? The only thing I know about killers is they hate to be seen. They don't want to be watched. So what do we need? We don't need cameras. We need bodies. We need bodies on the ground. We need bodies out there looking I mean, it's, I always bring up Mrs. Kravitz on Bewitched, how she was nosy and kept up with everything going on over at Samantha's and Darren's house. Okay. Well, you bring that up for the same purpose that long time ago in Canton, we had these people that would watch out and tell people what you were doing. We just thought they were nosy neighbors. Heck, they were the neighborhood watch program before it existed and did a heck of a job. It's 9 o'clock, the sun's down, you're not home because the lights are on. Your kids are out here, and all of a sudden she calls, your kids are out here playing in the street. Ms. Matthews, are you going to come get your kids? And Mom would drive over there and had a belt with her and said, let's go. Get in the car. You're not going to be out here making noise and throwing rocks and bothering everybody in the neighborhood like a bunch of heathens. Yeah. Y'all, heathens is what we've become. Heathens is what we are everywhere we go. When we look out and we're not raising our children anymore, they're heathens. The people there are people out there that do raise their kids, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of people that don't take interest in their kids. You got 14-year-olds who have 28-year-old mamas who are at 28, they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do in life. And they still want to go to the club. They want to smoke a dub. They want to drink a 64 or 48 or 24. Want a shot of Fireball. They're 28. And that's kind of to be expected. But when you had a kid, the responsibilities of your life had changed. Your responsibility in life is to the next generation. Once you become the person that has to give life to the next generation, you are now responsible for yourself and for your child. So, in my world, if you're not watching after your child, you will go to jail also. Yes, we have to be that firm. It's become a zero tolerance program for Madison County and Hinds County and places where the corruption is just growing and growing. I mean, your 14-year-olds are out getting shot at the house because they're dealing with 13 and 14-year-olds who are going around shooting everybody. Lori Travis, we used to have a neighbor who loved to listen in on everybody's phone calls back when party lines were a thing. Dang, yes, that's true. You knew everything going on. I mean, do you understand that 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds have guns? And somebody like a parent needs to be parenting. And if they're not parenting, then they are breaking the law themselves. They are, because they are responsible for that child. I know now it used to be 18. 18, you could get out of the house and go. Now they act like you got to be 21 before you can even mow the yard. I mean, it's pathetic the way we do things in the world today. I don't understand all of this. I don't understand. Maybe I'm just stupid. Well, many people say I am. So I may be stupid when we talk about parenting and stuff like that. But my parenting right now, since I have no kids that I know of, is I'm looking to be the parent for Canton. I'm looking to be the parent that makes sure that there's a steady stream of money coming in to Canton and all the businesses are there like they were when I was a child. I'm looking for the cleaning up of the area from the interstate to the square. I'm looking to build the commerce of the entertainment that's got to go from the Canton exit all the way up to Sowell Road, all the way, because all of that's Canton, and it's got to be developed. And because that is the pathway from the areas where people live currently in Madison and Ridgeland and in Jackson and in Gluckstadt. That's the pathway to work. And it's a 2-lane interstate, basically. And I mean, and every day it's clogged up. People are not going to want their jobs because of that. And so then they will say, well, let's buy a piece of land out north of Canton at the North Canton exit and have an easier drive in. Well, that'll be nice. But we still need to fix the interstate problem, y'all. The interstate is a problem. And it was supposed to be built all the way wide open back when Nissan came in. There was supposed to be another Canton exit at just south of Nissan. Didn't happen because legislators and state officials and even supervisors in Madison County didn't get it built. They move money around. There's stuff you got to have and there's stuff you don't have to have. And people want different things for their districts. That's what the problem is at the Senate. You know, right now, Cindy Hyde-Smith and Roger Wicker, they want more money for them to spend to give out. And they want more gifts, more graft to give to the people. They want to make sure that their programs don't get cut to where they lose money. Okay, we're going to take another break. Fred Cerami told me to mention the prayer on the square. Now, we did this yesterday at 12 noon, and we're doing a prayer every day, praying for Canton, and we're going to mention Jackson and everybody else, praying for this upcoming election that we get it right, that we fix it. So today I will not be there at noon. I can't make it today because I'll be on the radio here, and I'm in Florida. But I will be there every day this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And you can come up there and talk to us. But the big thing, just come up and pray. It's quick prayer. If you want to talk politics, we'll talk politics. But I really just want us to pray, because the only thing that's going to help all of us is a little bit of God and Jesus in our lives. And that's what we need, because that's the only thing that's going to help us. That's the only thing that's going to make it better. Y'all share the links, share my message, share it to everybody. I got to have the votes in order to go in office, and so do your politicians. Make sure you go out. The absentee voting is going on now all over the state in every city. Go make sure you're voting for the right person, making sure your life is going to be better, making sure your money is going to go where it needs to go. We'll be right back after this, right here on the Chip Matthews Show, right here on WYAB.
1039 WYAB.
I'm David Frederick, owner of Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. I'm here to tell you that it's the best time to buy a new Exmark zero-turn mower. With unmatched quality of cut, ease of operation, and low maintenance, it's no wonder why Exmark is the #1 choice of landscape professionals. With sizes starting at 42 inches and 0% financing available, we have an Exmark zero-turn for all size lawns. Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. Come by my store and see why Frederick's has been leading the way and serving you for 30 years since 1993.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Divini Equipment, serving you in Madison and Jackson. Stop, call, or click at DiviniEquipment.com.
CBS News Brief. The Trump administration is moving to end all of Harvard's federal contracts over allegations of anti-Semitism and race discrimination. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
CBS News obtained a copy of a letter being sent to federal agencies today instructing them to review the current contracts to determine if they're not critical, and also tells the agencies to find alternative vendors for future services.
Consumer confidence for May much stronger than expected, with Americans optimistic about trade deals. The Dow's up 474 after the president delayed EU tariffs to allow more time for negotiations. White House advisor Kevin Hassett.
There can be progress, but we need a lot more progress.
Capricorn Clark, former assistant to Sean Combs, is expected to testify at his sex trafficking trial today. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
Combs' assistants were so close to him and have really shared significant details about his environment. And she's also important for corroborating a number of stories we've been hearing on the stand.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
If you ever been stuck on the side of the road with engine trouble or because of an accident, you know how frustrating that can be. I'm Chad Stevens of Chad Stevens Wrecker Service. We'll help take some of the stress out of this stressful situation. We've been rated by AAA as one of the top 10 towing services in the entire USA. Why? Well, just ask our customers. So keep our number in your cell phones and call us if you need us. 662-755-8645. That's Chad Stevens Wrecker Service. 662-755-8645.
Hey, this is Ben Ingram from the Braves Radio Network. We're in commercial right now, so I'm going to let my sister take over and tell you about Hometown Property Group.
Thanks, Ben. This is Mary Claire Putman with Hometown Property Group. Whether you're buying or selling, we are committed to guiding you through your real estate transaction with integrity, exceptional service, and remarkable results. Madison County has been my home for 40 years. I'd love to help make it yours, too.
That's Hometown Property Group. Give them a call at 601-853-6080.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venables Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris at Fannin Mart on the Riz is quickly becoming Rankin County's go-to spot for pizza, burgers, pasta, appetizers, daiquiris, and more. Try their famous Wheel of Flavor pizza. You can add it to 3 different specialty pizzas onto one pie, such as the margarita, Sergeant Pepperoni, Acme Beat Buster, Pig, Pesto Chicken, the Old Mexico, the Supreme, or hey, just build your own custom pizza. Acme also has a full bar with 9 different frozen daiquiris to choose from. Open daily at 4 p.m. Acme Pizza and Daiquiris.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, I am Chip Matthews here on the Chip Matthews Show right here on WYAB. Heard worldwide at WYAB.com. That's right. You can go to WYAB.com, hit the listen link, and you can pick us up anywhere in the world. And I'd like to thank those people that are listening to us in Canton's other city, Canton, China. Good morning, y'all. Oh, well, anyway. Good morning, BJ McKay Kirby. Yes, as we check in with people that are hitting the like and love button on Facebook. If you're listening on Facebook, whatever, make sure you share the links. And remember, coming up at 10:07, it'll be after the news, I'm going to have Sidney Runnels on the air with me. And some people, some people refer to him as the last white mayor, which I guess he was, and truly refers to me as the white Republican. So I guess it's okay for me to call him the white mayor, but the reality is he was a good mayor for Canton for many years. And he was around when we first had the Levi plant come in. And believe it or not, when I first got in radio, one of the first interviews I ever did was we did a show called A Talk with the Mayor, and I used to talk to him. And at the time, we were putting in the infrastructure from Canton to Gluckstadt so that Canton could someday take Gluckstadt into the city limits. But that was on the 51 side. And I'm going to talk to him about that because basically, good morning, Russell McGuffey. The reality is when you go to annex an area, as long as you put all the fireplace in place and then you put all the utilities in place, you're supposed to be able to annex that area with no problem because all you'd be lacking is police. And Canton didn't go for any of that because after Mayor Runnels was out of office, they didn't want any white people or white neighborhoods brought into the city or a potential for that to happen. They kept the city limits small. They kept the city limits demographic the way they wanted it. And then they got real nervous. And that's why we're in this election, in court right now, waiting on a ruling, because when they did incorporate some areas, They brought them in, and in one area they knew they had the right demographic, but in the other they didn't know what they were going to have. So they didn't do what they were supposed to do and add them to the SIM system in the poll books. I mean, in the state statute says you must do that within 10 days of annexing an area. And they knew they were annexing that area. They knew that was coming in. Then they have to notify all of the voters in that area of their status. And they didn't do that for 3 years. So I'm going to get Sidney. I'll ask him what he knows about stuff like this, because we're waiting on the ruling from Judge Will, which I'm sure will immediately be appealed and maybe even wind up in the Supreme Court trying to stay the election that occurs next Tuesday. And y'all, people say, well, that ain't going to happen. Y'all, I've seen magic happen in Canton that cannot happen. It happens anywhere else, it'll happen in Canton. That is where all federal election cheating is practiced in Canton first. And it's and you say, that's Chip, you're insane. But that's Benny Thompson's district. He's head of Homeland Security. You see what I'm saying? You got to practice somewhere, and Madison County is the best place for them to practice because it's considered a red county, but it's really very blue. It's very blue. It's as purple as it gets. And, Canton, Madison County went for, it went in Delbert's favor. We know Delbert's a Democrat, but the truth of the matter is elections mean something, and you've got to go out and find the right people and put them into office. $1 billion is coming to Madison County. $1 billion with a B. That's with a B. That's Trump type money. I sound like Trump. We're getting these programs in here and this money's coming in and we're going to rebuild America. Well, we're going to rebuild Madison County. I can promise you that. And, the government, the people down at the Capitol did a good job getting these projects to move here. And then the next thing they got to do is they got to get them enough power. They got to get them 1.5 times the power we currently have producing in the state. And many of you are sitting right now on a rainy day. I think they said 17,000, 18,000 of y'all don't have power right now. That's ridiculous in this day and age, doing without power. But we are. The election, storms come through, things happen. Be careful of falling trees. The grounds are wet. They're going to get wetter. It's going to rain. We're under a tornado watch, severe thunderstorm watch. Spring up this, spring up that. Keep up with the weather, people. Keep up with it. Make sure you are safe. But then also think about voting. If you're going to be out of town, if you're going to be somewhere other than that, if there's a chance you won't be around on Election Day, next Tuesday, you can go vote absentee. And that's the only excuse you need is I will be out of town on Tuesday. It shouldn't be a lot of extra questions to it. They shouldn't question you any more than that. Sometimes they do. Be cordial. Tell them it ain't their business. You're not going to be in town Tuesday. Going on vacation, whatever. And then vote. It's always better to vote on the machines. Everybody likes voting on the machines. But voting is what you got to do to keep up with this money. You got to get people in office that you trust with your money. And sometimes you don't have an option of good people running. So you need to start now finding people who will run for supervisor next year, because supervisors are next. Also, next year, when we're voting for supervisors, we'll be voting for congressmen because they have to run every 2 years. So in your mind, you need to remember that any congressman you don't like the way he's voting, you can get rid of him every 2 years. You need to act like you know. You need to act like Benny can be beat. We don't like Benny. We get rid of Benny. But he keeps getting in, so we must like him. We must love him. Or at least the 20% that vote in Mississippi love him because 80% of y'all don't vote. 80% of y'all do not vote. 80% of y'all would rather bitch about it than do something about it. And all you have to do is go to the polls and vote. It's painless, people. Normally, there's not any lines because nobody goes to vote. So you go up and you fill in the dot and you feel good about yourself. They give you a little sticker you can put on. May have been designed by some kid in high school. But you got to vote. You got to go vote, people. You know, it's like the most important thing you can do as a citizen of the United States. And think of all the people. We just got through a Memorial Day, which started in Columbus, Mississippi, as you all know, when they went out and they decorated the graves of those that had fought in the Civil War. But they didn't do just the Confederate graves. They did the Northern graves too. Everybody that died in the war, they honored them. And we should honor all people that die in wars. We should also honor all the people in our community, the firemen and the policemen that die in the line of duty or get hurt. Do you realize that every day they go home from, let's say you go to a house fire and 2 people burned up in that fire. Who do you think's going to reach in there and get their friend? And it might be a friend of theirs. It might be your friend. It might be your neighbor. It might be somebody they went to church with 1,000,000 times. They're going to be the ones to pull them out of the fire. They see some of the most horrific things in the world as first responders and policemen and firemen. And you really owe them more debt of gratitude than you can imagine, because they see things we don't have to see. And they do that. You know, you gotta bless them. You gotta know that you've got to do better in your life, because these people are out there fighting to do yours. And then these legislators in these cities, they take the money and they steal it, and they don't give raises to these people that deserve every dollar they get and more. They are taking on damage in their life that will be there the rest of their life. Things that you wouldn't want to see. They're out there in the middle of it. And you want to say how much money they can make. You want to say, well, they're not doing as good as we are down here at the legislature. We're important down here. And you can't do a budget in the time frame you're supposed to. That is just wrong. It is disgusting when you really think about it, that you can't do your job to make a budget, to make sure these people are getting paid, and you are worried about your purse. You need to be worried about that police officer's purse, or that firefighter, or that paramedic. People that are on the front line, who are the first responders, who are there and see the destruction. When people are getting shot in Jackson, you know, there isn't a lawmaker showing up to pick up the body. When they get shot in Canton, they're not showing up to pick up the body. No, they're somewhere else. Somebody else is going in there, and they're getting paid scrap nothing to go in there, get treated like crap by our government for doing their job. Then you want to say, like in Canton, you ain't got enough cops, you ain't got enough this, you ain't got enough that. Well, that's the people's fault for putting the wrong people into office. Alderman and mayor, just wrong people in office who won't find some balls, and let's say it, balls, you got to have balls to do the right thing. You've got to put somebody in there that's not afraid of everybody not liking his decision. But, you know, we got a COO in Canton who's from Jackson. What do we need a COO when the mayor and the board of aldermen are running the city? What do we need a COO for? What do we need that? We have a clerk who takes care of the money. What does the COO do? What they do is they take the money that should be being spent on a policeman, another policeman on the ground. You know, it makes no sense what we're doing. We're trying to fix a problem. Democrats in these counties that belong to Benny Thompson are trying to fix a problem that they cannot fix because They want to hire all their friends to work who won't do anything. And these people that take these jobs and go out and are dedicated to do it right and have to go and fight these crimes and pick up these bodies that are lying in the streets and people that have been mutilated, people that have been raped, and they go out and have to and talk to these people, and you always want to turn on them. You always want, I mean, you don't want to support the people that do the job. You know, it's sort of like being the garbage man of the human waste that y'all create. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews program. Remember, coming up at 10:07, right after the news, I will have the former mayor of Canton, Sidney Runnels, on the phone. Mayor of Canton.
.1039 WYAB.
Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
We would like to invite you to visit our retirement community, which is not only beautiful, but affordable as well. I'm Rhonda Brown, director at the Waterford on Highland Colony in Ridgeland. Our team members are passionate about making our residents' life easier and more enjoyable. We have fun-filled educational and entertaining activities, plus daily exercise that will help with your stamina and balance. Call us at the Waterford on Highland Colony in Ridgeland, 601-856-6131.
Pet emergencies don't wait, so why should you? At Urge Vet Emergency Vets of Madison, we offer low wait times and cutting-edge technology to provide fast, expert care for all household pets. Our hours of operation are weeknights 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and 24 hours on weekends and holidays. Our phone number is 601-790-1918 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Because when it comes to your pet's health, trust the team that's fast, reliable, and compassionate.
If you had an accident and had your vehicle repaired at the insurance company preferred shop, you might consider calling Clinton Body Shop to schedule a post-repair inspection. 5 of the last 6 cars we inspected were bought back by the insurer or repair shop due to unsafe repairs. Your family's safety and your investment are at risk. You may have a diminished value claim due to repairs. Did your insurance company mention that? In Clinton and in Richland, we work for you. We take pride in perfection.
At Johnny's Pizza House, we consider our customers like family, so we spend the extra time needed to put more love into making our pizza. From our dough made fresh daily to fresh, never frozen ingredients, Johnny's Pizza House takes pride in knowing that what we serve our customers isn't just pizza. It's a slice of home in every single bite. Great traditions start with great food and great people. Start your tradition today with Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
Money should never stand between you and your dreams.
So if there's a will, there's a way. I'm Corey Ravenstein.
And I'm John Ravenstein. You're going to love this. Right now at Juniker Jewelry Company, enjoy 3 years interest-free financing. You heard me right. That's 3 years, 36 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers.
Buy those gorgeous $10,000 diamond stud earrings she's always wanted from Juniker's and pay just $277 per month.
Buy a $5,000 natural diamond engagement ring for just $138 per month.
Buy that $3,000 diamond tennis bracelet for just $84 a month.
Whatever you want at Juniker Jewelry Company, just divide the number by 36, and that's your monthly payment.
Now you can give her the diamond she's always dreamed of.
Because right now, through the end of June, get 3 years, 36 months interest-free.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and JunikerJewelry.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Many people ask me about my bumper music. Well, I just feel like when you hear that shrieking, eerie Tiny Tim coming in, you're going to know that somebody's fixing to say something important. And the important thing right now is Yazoo City's flooding, and it's in Benny Thompson's district. Canton will flood. It's in Benny Thompson's district. Parts of Jackson will flood. Benny Thompson's district. We had another murder. Let's see. Where was this? Let me look at this again. Where's that? Come on back. 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 Who sent that to me? Dang it. We had a murder down in Brookhaven. Benny Thompson's district. Not Brookhaven. Let me find that again. Come on, phone. Oh, well, I can't find it. But there's another murder, another shooting in Benny Thompson's district. Now, I'm sure we can't compare to everywhere else, but the shooting has got to stop. In Canton, the gunfire is at a level at night that is unimaginable. And the funny thing is with fireworks season coming up for 4th of July, it really gets sketchy as to what is going on. But we got to do something to stop the gunfire. We got to do something to stop the violence. We got to do something to make these legislators and these elected politicians spend our money properly to help us. You know, you would think that in the upcoming budget, there would be a big old slice of money that you'd start breaking off to save the lives of kids, because it's kids shooting kids. And nobody seems to want to discuss it and figure out how to solve it. That's Jackson's problem. Oh, that's Canton's problem. It's all of our problem in Mississippi, because they ride up, they leave Canton and go up the road to Carthage and kill. That's what's going on. They get in the car and go to Yazoo City and kill kids that steal cars at 14 and 13 and steal guns. They can go wherever they want. They can go down in New Orleans and kill, because nobody's keeping up with them. They're not being reared properly. But then again, you tell me, what can they go do? What can they go to stay out of trouble? Where can they go to do? I mean, as a kid, you can give us football or baseball, some gloves. We'd play until it was dark and then play a little bit after dark and get in trouble for that. We rode our bikes. But it's not like that anymore. Now when you ride a bike, you need a helmet. I didn't need no helmet back then, but that's probably why I'm crazy now, because you didn't need a helmet back then. Okay, we're going to take a news break. We're going to sign off on the Facebook and come back on it. And we'll have Mayor Sidney Runnels, former Mayor Sidney Runnels of Canton, on the air with us at 10:07. Want you all to tune in. Y'all tune back in on Facebook and all of that, because we're going to be signing off and logging back in, because that's the way the program works. And I'll be filling in on the Jameson Haygood Show for the next 2 hours. And I will see you back here in just a little bit, right here on WYAB, where we're getting it right and telling the truth.